Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome. Right, as we know, Capcom Cup 11 is underway for the next week. 48 of the best Street Fighter 6 players in the world will be battling it out for that prestigious title and that $1 million. But as we know, the favorite very rarely is the one who takes the win, and of course takes the $1 million associated with that title. Last year, Uma took that $1 million and ran off to the horizon, maybe never to be seen again. Who's gonna be the big surprise this year? We asked the Roundup squad for their predictions, so let's see who they think is gonna shock the world this Capcom Cup 11.
This Capcom Cup is definitely super stacked, but for me, the dark horse to win it all is man like Kusanagi. Of course, it's difficult to forget his incredible performance at UFA and the absolutely amazing Grand Finals win over Shanghai. This UFA run was an absolutely crazy one where he took down a lot of world-class players. There's also Street Fighter League with Team Aegis, where he reached all the way to Grand Finals and also was the only player in the entire competition able to take Angry Bird down in an absolutely incredibly hype set. And guess what? Angry Bird in his pool for Capcom Cup. His pool contains players that I believe he can defeat, but more importantly, there is one key factor that can make Kusanagi win. His Ryu mastery. Ryu, despite being an extremely strong character, is not really well represented around the world, and especially in Japan. And while Japanese players are seen as some of the favorites because the level here is absolutely incredible, Ryu and Kusanagi's Ryu especially have a playstyle that can definitely annoy every single Japanese player around. I'm very looking forward to this Capcom Cup, and I will be cheering for man like Kusanagi.
Among the elite Rashid players attending Capcom Cup this year, it could be easy to overlook a player like Dual Kevin, but he's my personal bet to win the tournament. Ever since SFL US Season 1, he showed an insane rate of improvement, going from one of the weaker players to an extremely big threat for the team UIU. And from there, he quickly became a world-class player with extremely consistent placings at many majors, especially recently. Not to mention, ever since Rashid's come into the game, oh boy, does Dual Kevin look at home with this character. He's the type of player to actively innovate really interesting strategies. He's very cerebral, and it definitely shows in his gameplay. So I got no doubt that he's coming to Capcom Cup 11 more than prepared to take it all. And let's be honest, if you had to bet $1 million, I'm probably putting my money down on the player with Rashid level 2.
My dark horse for this year has to be German CPT World Warrior champ Gigi Halliwell. He's someone who's always stood out to me every single time I've commentated, and one particular moment that really stuck with me was at Crossover 2024. Halliwell picked Zangief against the jury, and especially so late into the bracket when the pressure's on to secure a top 8 spot. Now Zangief isn't typically seen as a top pick against jury, with characters like Cammy and Ken being the far more obvious choices, especially since he can play them to such a high level. But Halliwell completely dismantled his opponent. The way he used Zangief's kit made you think he was an expert with the character. This also makes you reflect on the time that Halliwell picked Manon against Shadowken's JP at group stage in Capcom Cup last year, immediately putting himself at a disadvantage just for the memes. One has to begin to assume Halliwell is a bit of a masochist. It's clear that Halliwell has a natural talent for Street Fighter, and when he's fully engaged he can pick up almost any character in a day and challenge long-term specialists. The only thing holding him back is his sporadic engagement with the game. He doesn't always stay active, but when he's in it he's a force to be reckoned with. If he were fully committed, I truly believe he could be one of the best, if not the best, European player. He's been grinding in the run-up to Capcom Cup, so don't be surprised if he causes any major upsets or takes it all, because I won't be. Best of luck, Halliwell.
Progressing from a singular top 8 at the end of Street Fighter V's life cycle in Saltline Season 16 to winning the Europe West Regional Finals is a monstrous level of growth, and I think that with that much potential on display, Salty Kid is the embodiment of a dark horse at Capcom Cup this year. Emerging competitively at 17 years old, Salty Kid has rapidly and consistently entered tournaments week in, week out since Street Fighter 6's release, and within the span of 2024, has turned a streak of form that started out as top 16 to top 5 finishes into consistent victories, and of course the qualification for Capcom Cup this year at Europe West. With all but one member of his group being first-time entrants to Capcom Cup, Group B is going to be a shark tank no matter what, but with the potential displayed and growth shown in just over a year, I think Salty Kid is the player to watch without a shadow of a doubt.
My dark horse pick for Capcom Cup this year has got to be Zangief bolado. This is the, and I do mean the, South American Zangief. Having been a consistent contender in our region since Street Fighter V, it's now where he's getting his chance to flex, and he's been doing it for the previous year. A breakout performance at his first ever out-of-region major UFA. He was taking down fellow qualifiers Big Bird, Emperor, Lex, and also getting those nail-biter sets in to first and second, Kusanagi and Zangief. All signs here, point to more surprises, point to more wins. With his pool of two Kens, Terry, JP, and Rashid, we already know he handles half that pool. His grand finals of a not Pedro, a strong Brazilian Ken, was just more proof of what he can put out in the common Ken matchup. And his match to Big Bird at UFA has got me thinking odds for him into dual Kevin. That's my guy, and I can't wait to see how he handles Group C.
All right, my pick is going to be Emperor. Of course, I'm backing the Ken coalition. He was the last player to qualify, winning Kings of the World, the offline premiere in London. But he had a really consistent season. He finished top of the rankings in the South Korean World Warrior, and you know how competitive that is. He won the fourth event and got a number of second places to finish top seed. Ultimately, though, he wasn't able to defeat NL in the South Korea regional finals, but that didn't put him off because a couple weeks later he immediately went to London and did the business, running it back in grand finals against Roozu and taking his qualification spot that way. And whilst he hasn't had a season full of impressive results, it's been building up, starting up with the mix-up. He moved through Esports World Cup Last Chance qualifier. He was at UFA. He was at the Singapore Premier. He was at the Japan Super Premier. So he has been traveling. He is used to competing in these conditions. And I believe that he might just shock the world because Ken always has a chance. All right, that's our predictions. Let us know who you think is going to be the dark horse, the surprising name that's going to shock the world this Capcom Cup 11 down in the comments. Get involved and let us know what you think. We want to hear from you. Thank you so much to all our subscribers, all our followers across YouTube, Twitch, and social media. We'll be back with more content. We have our roving reporter Damascus on the scene, so look out for more video content dropping every day during Capcom Cup 11. We'll see you next time here on Reversal.